So, Lords of the Fallen 2023 is a complete mess, and I'm going to jump straight into this one by saying the developers are on it. A day after launch, they've already got a patch out with balancing changes, bug fixes, all sorts of stuff to try and help improve the technical side of the game, the crashing and everything like that. And I will say the sum of it, the reason this game's a complete mess is not because of the game itself necessarily. Some of it is because people refuse to do basic troubleshooting stuff. Things that are actually like mandatory for some games, people refuse to do it and expect because they have a high-end machine that the game's going to work perfectly out of the box. And just quickly before we get any further into the video, if you're looking to pick up this game or any other game you want to save yourself a little bit of money, head over to CD Keys using the link in the description. It will say get cheap games. And that's if you're on the PC or Xbox. They don't have too many PlayStation keys, but you can save yourself some money, and it is an affiliate link, so you will be supporting the channel at the same time. All support is greatly appreciated. So, like, one of the biggest complaints, like, the reason this is a complete mess, it's mixed on Steam. 51%, and that's climbing up slowly. It was about 48%, but that's 4,500 reviews that have got it sitting at 51%. And looking at the reviews for this game, because a lot of companies, like, I know reviews are oftentimes, like when it's from, say, like IGN for an example, they're a lot different to what players are actually going to give the game in terms of their personal reviews. But this game pretty much has 8 and above across the board, multiple different companies. And I mean, it's a little bit weird if you think about it when IGN in general gave it an 8 out of 10, but then IGN, I think it's the French one, gave it a 10 out of 10. So it all depends on the person playing the game, but it's really high reviews from most of the, I'm going to say most of the common review places that people go to, like GameSpot and like so on and so forth. But jumping into the actual player reviews, people are complaining that you can't change controls for controller. This 2023, that should be a thing, but I wouldn't say refund the game based on that. Get used to the control scheme. And then there's some people saying performance is unstable with drops from 100 to 30 FPS on high-end PC. But then there's also people saying if you're having issues with performance, change your reflection and global illumination quality to medium, because when the game's set to high and above, the game introduces ray tracing. So you might have a high-end PC, but it's not the highest end. And there might be parts of the game that aren't optimized by the developers. That happens a lot nowadays. And then you've got people saying that this game sucks because they're trying to be like From Software, but they're failing, they're useless, they're trying, all this sort of stuff. The one thing I'm going to say, which is complete bullshit on the developer's part, is the co-op isn't true seamless co-op. I've seen people complaining that you can't interact with items and stuff. There's just basically, it doesn't work how a co-op game should work. And even when you're picking up the currency in the game, the co-op partner gets less than the host. So it is basically, you're going to follow someone along on their adventure in the game and just kill some enemies with them. That's pretty much everything there is to co-op. It actually says here in one of the reviews, only the host can interact with NPCs, only the host can pick up items or trade with the traders. The guest player, the partner in the co-op game, cannot do any of the actions. And there's a big percentage of the currency that doesn't get awarded to the player that's not the host. But not only that, apparently, the player that's not the host cannot respawn in the Umbral either. So this is not a true co-op game at all. And it does state in their description, invite a second player to join your campaign in uninterrupted online multiplayer. It does state in brackets, only the host saves the world progress, but it doesn't say that it's only the host that can interact with NPCs or pretty much do anything in the fucking game. So their seamless online co-op, having someone joining your campaign, is a lie in terms of is not proper co-op. You can have someone join you, but they can't do anything in the game. So there's a bunch of complaints left, right and center. The performance, which is some actual, like, it's the player's fault in some cases. One of the biggest problems was outdated drivers. People weren't updating their game drivers before trying to play the game. So in the patch, what they've done is they've now got a notification that will pop up and prompt you to update your drivers if you need to. So basically the game can register whether your drivers are up to date or not, which is going to save a lot of problems. Like, it's going to stop a lot of problems happening, especially when it comes to the game crashing. And there's been an issue with frame generation. It is leading to crashes under certain conditions, so they've temporarily deactivated the frame generation. There's been an engine error that could occur with certain 30 and 40 series GPUs, causing the game to crash even with auto-set graphics. It's been partially addressed. And then there's been an issue with the engine code related to the calculation of pipeline state objects or PSOs. That's been identified in Sentry. It resulted in crashes when shaders were being compiled after the first cinematic of the game. And there's now a solution that's been integrated into the game that should resolve the majority of cases. So they are working to fix the issues, but at the same time, you don't give them a pass or a slap on the wrist. They need to be held accountable. They've created a game and they've released it in this bad of a fucking state. That's not fair on the players. The only thing I'm going to say is the players' fault is not updating your drivers and stuff. If you're a PC gamer, that should be mandatory before you load any game. Make sure all your drivers are up to date. It can cause so many problems. But then they've done performance stuff. They've done balancing, bosses, PvP, 3D photo mode, visuals, audio, Steam Deck. So they are working on the game. I give them that. But the game is such a mess. They've got mixed reviews all over Steam. They've got crash after crash. They've got low performance. They've got people not updating their drivers and having problems because of it. So, yeah, Lords of the Fallen has not got off to a great start, but hopefully they can pull their finger out, get everything sorted, and in the coming weeks and months, that review percentage will go up, and hopefully it'll go to positive from mixed at some point in the future, but you never know. They could put out a patch and revert some of their progress to fixing the game, and it could just go even further downhill from here. But from the launch of Lords of the Fallen, it's in a really, really bad state. It's been nothing but a mess. And on that note, we are going to leave the video there. If you enjoyed it, leaving a like is appreciated. If you wish to support me further as a creator, there are links in the description. Let me know your thoughts about the video in the comments. And if you want to watch more, you can click the video on screen. All support on the channel is greatly appreciated, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.